folks, welcome to an episode of my Bayern Munich Let's Play. Today we are doing a mid-season report, which I like to do just for two reasons. One, it gives a chance for you to discuss things and in not without outside the heat of the episode of games. Also, it's like a mini break for you guys to catch up if you're behind the episodes. But also, it gives me a chance to just give you a chance to give your thoughts on the things which I need to try and improve to make a team better. So. Don't forget, guys, hit the like button, help support the channel. It'd be very much appreciated. So, also, guys, thoughts on the feedback on the intro I do now, which is like usually me talking. It's a clip from the episode coming up, and then the outro music comes on, and the logo and the thumbnail from the series comes on. I think it's better than the generic logo we had for the episodes. And this is going to be the same. This one's going to be a slightly different intro, but relatively the same. So, as you can see, the season as it's going so far, we've got a very good start to the season. We're currently 1 point behind the leaders in the Bundesliga, which are Leipzig. And if we hadn't drawn against Schalke in that really poor game last episode, we'd be top of the table right now. And we're still only a point behind. We're going to be fine. I think we can definitely overturn that. We're not quite halfway through the season. There's one more game that actually technically to be played to get to the halfway point, but we're close enough. It's a big break now before the next part of the season, which is January, kicks in. So this is the opportune time to do this kind of thing. Champions League, we've done really well actually in terms of our general performances. We lost to Real Madrid, which is kind of given in this series, and we drew with PSG, and then we've beaten teams like Dortmund, PSV, Celtic, and Benfica. Games we should be winning, and also the performances in most of those games have been okay. I think the Celtic game was one when we basically got a lead and then we kind of switched off, but other than that, we've been fine. So we've got the playoff spot secured in the Champions League, and we got Anderlecht and Lazio in our next two games in the groups in the league phase. So we should get through the league phase. In fact, we could conceivably do it if we win our next game, if results all go our way. But I think it's unlikely. For me, 2 wins. I think we need a win and a draw to do it. But 2 wins will definitely do it. But also it depends on what results. There's so many games, it's hard to just work out. I think just win every game you can. But honestly, we're probably going to get screwed anyway because we'll probably get someone very tough in the next round. Because look at the teams below us in the league phase. You've got like PSG are in there, Juventus are in there, Real Madrid are in there. What else? Dortmund could squeeze in there, the bottom. But yeah. Look at the top teams actually in this. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 English sides all in the top side, all in the top area. And yeah, so, but we're 2 points off the top. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter this. Like, is there a difference between, like, if you finish top of this, you get a bit extra money from prize money? I don't think you do you? So I think this. I like this format. I think it's definitely growing on me. But I feel like all you gotta do really is get top 24, because getting top 8, as you've seen in IRL, you can get screwed by winning it. You'll get benefit for it. So it's what it is. Dutch Morocco, we're doing really well. The draw is getting quite spicy because us, Dortmund, and Leipzig are all kind of like being separated, which is going to make an interesting semi-final. Should we get there? Ideally, of course, you want them to play each other in the semi-final, and we'd get one of these two. But I'm not that lucky in cup draws, so I doubt that's going to happen. But I could be wrong, and I would like to be sat here and proven wrong. But I doubt I'm going to be. I want to obviously win the Super Cup as well. So the big question we've got in this team is the goalkeeper situation, really. I've been doing some research on the keeper. So, for example, I've got a scout range here, which not that. If I were to do this and just do that, and then they recommend De Stegen as the best option to go for goalkeeper. But I did a comparison, and with like quite a few goalkeepers just to get an idea, and he actually favours quite well. You look at the general thing here. He's beaten De Stegen in most things, other than these here, but by 1. So I don't know why this keeper, why Costa is actually that inconsistent. It feels like because he's he's got better command of the area, good aerial reach. He's got low eccentricity, which I don't. Is that? Yeah, I don't get it. Do we need better coaches? in there. I don't know. The only thing where he's really bad in is obviously you don't want that on the ball. You don't want that's a negative for the Stegen. Is his rushing out tendency and his throwing is poor. But there's nothing really worth changing for. If I compare him to someone like Courtois, for example, Courtois wins. No, that's wrong. Hang on. Let's go back. Let's get Costa. It would be easy to do it that way, won't it? I'm doing this the wrong way around. So we go with Courtois, for example. So the green is Costa and the blue is Courtois. Again, there ain't much in it. Handling's better from Courtois by a margin of 2. So I don't know if it's worth really getting rid of Costa. I think the case would be is we get rid of Costa if he pushes for a move. I don't think it's worth moving him out because I don't think there's a keeper out there that's the top quality enough for us to get him. I've also inquired by mistake for Courtois. Not going to happen, by the way. So do we just need to get better coaches in for him? Or maybe I'm being really harsh. I mean, he cost me. How much did he cost me? £54 million. It won Liga twice with him, I think. He's not terrible, but just he doesn't fill me with confidence as a goalkeeper. And you're comparing to someone like Alisson as well, for example. Here, Alisson is better in eccentricity, first touch, but again, it's a small margin. You know, when he does beat him, he's better one-on-ones by a decent margin. His punching tendencies up there. He's punching out to the. There's not much in these top clubs in him, so I don't know what it is about Costa that is causing these issues where he seems to have these random problems. You know, obviously you got like concentration, which is very similar to Alisson, for example. So he's up there with the best goalkeepers in the world, I think. But I still don't understand why he can't maintain his level and why I don't trust the guy. I just don't trust the guy at all. So the biggest question is, I think Costa is not the ultimate keeper in the world, but I think he's not terrible. I think the best thing to do would be to develop someone like this guy and move him up the team. Because if you compare these guys, let's compare these together. I haven't done this yet, by the way. So the green is Simon. You're looking at the kicking, not great, but everything else, there's not much in it. And there's more potential to grow with Denis Simon than there is with Costa. So my idea is, if we were to, for example, have a situation where Costa is pushing for a move, which he did do last summer, I resisted it because I didn't really have a goalkeeper lined up. I will, what I will do then is move him on, but bring in an experienced goalkeeper like the Stegen or someone who can come in for a season or two. And then Simon, or do we just go with Simon? And that's why I do these kind of videos to discuss these kind of things, because I look at the stats here for these two goalkeepers, and aerial reach is better on Simon. The command area is very similar. The communication is very similar. Eccentricity is a problem for these Simon. That could be an issue. First touch is the same. Basically, handling is the same. Kicking's not as great for Simon. I think we should work on that, honestly. His passing isn't great, but it's not far off. One-on-ones is very similar. And he's better at reflexes and rushing out and throwing. So I think, honestly, what we to work with for him is that work on his passing. Work on his passing and get that increased. I think that is what we should be really doing. And I do feel like this is the way to go with these guys, is to promote Simon and keep Costa for now, but with the proviso of I'm happy to let him go, but not going to force him out. So that's my thoughts on that. But now I've scouted and compared and researched everything, I do feel like this is the way to go with it. I don't know if you guys agree or not, but we'll see. Of course, there's always the idea that we could maybe get some young talent. So, you know, we look at the scout report here, and I had to learn the best way of scouting on this game. Honestly, let's go to like 15 to 19 years old, and then value. You know, wow, what a player he is. By the way, FYI, that looks insane. Player. Oh, that was with footy. That's a problem. But yeah, so like you're looking at goalkeeper really, and what options out there for goalkeepers. You know, you got some good talent maybe here we can maybe go and bring in as well. So it all depends on how the Simon develops. But we've got a long time to get Champions League win with Bayern Munich. Honestly, we've got a long time to get this done. Which is why I'm considering doing 2 let's plays. But I find it hard to do 2 let's plays at once. Honestly, take a sip of water. 1 second, goes. So yeah, that's the plan. To try and see how we go tactically. So you can look at this now, and this is essentially how we line up with in the last game against Leverkusen. We absolutely bombarded and dominated them in that game. They got a red card, which makes it easier. It was already 4-0. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, Goretzka is a guy. Goretzka's been a player in this team that has been a problem from minute 1. I like him a lot as a player, but getting him into a system has been a problem. The biggest thing we've got that's an issue with this team is in big games we do not dominate the possession enough. And I'm trying to get them to press better. And I'm struggling on FM for years to get it to work. Ferran Torres only got 4 goals. That's really bad for him. Just 1 second. Wow, he's had a bad season. Wow. But then again, Gorkrez is scoring like 18, so there is that. So this formation works in the sense of we score goals against most of the teams we play against, like the lesser teams, for want of a better word. And the one what I really like about this formation is that Yamel Musiala is scoring goals. I've got a Cam scoring goals on a regular basis. I've got Kashvela also scoring goals on a semi-regular basis, but he likes to shoot a lot. Even if he didn't say it on here, he hits a lot of shots. And how much you pay for him again? It's a lot. But he's really, really good. So I don't want to change the formation much because it is working. The problem lies in that in big games, we just don't seem to be able to dominate possession enough, and it is something we need to try and fix. It's mainly Madrid. That's the problem. I think every Champions League campaign we've had, this is a way of checking this. There is. Let's filter these out. I want to check something here. I've got a theory. So, last year, Madrid beat us. Year before, Madrid beat us. The first year, Man United beat us. So, throughout the 3 seasons, far from winning this one, of course, doesn't count yet, we've been beaten by Real Madrid. So, we've been looking. So, can we stop getting them? Would be a start, wouldn't it? This season, of course, we've played them already and they beat us again. So, maybe they are just really good against us and they're a good team. Maybe we get lucky with the draw. Because you look at the season overall, the only games, the outlying results that defeats are against Madrid and Dortmund. And we've beaten Dortmund twice out of the 3 this season. And PSG, we should have lost that game against PSG, by the way. We should have lost that game. We were really poor in that match. I don't know how we got a draw out of that game when PSG was so dominant. But big games in Champions League, we have a problem. Now, do we change this? This is the current formation as it is right now for maybe 2 games, really. 3, actually, if you count Schalke and Dortmund. I don't know what the answer is, but I do think like we have to look at these 2 here. I think Savage has been a really bad idea, bad signing. He gets outmaneuvered. I think it's a bad deal. I just couldn't find a way. I couldn't work out who to sign at centre mid, and it was a free transfer, so he's not costing anything. And Koopmeiners, again, slow. I need more energy in midfield, I think, and I think we need to move him on as well. But I don't want to move him on until I get a replacement in. So if we look at centre mids, for example, let's see what they recommend for centre mid. They keep recommending this guy to me. I don't understand why. I don't get it. I I'll look at him, but he just keeps cropping up on my list. That's the thing. Who wants to sign him, by the way? It's curious. Oh, all the Saudi clubs, I think. So, and then you got people like this. I do think we need to look at the centre mid options and try and get a midfield that is going to dominate. Because you look at the options here, there's plenty of guys that we can go and try and sign, but the money is insanely high. I would love, this is the guy I've been wanting for ages. I would love Tonali. I still think we can get him. He'd be perfect. He'd be perfect at the line playmaker. He'd be absolutely brilliant in my midfield. He's the guy I've been eyeing up for ages. The problem is when I do this, they want a lot of money for him, and he's insane. That's the dream guy in midfield is Tonali. But, someone like Gavi would be great as well, wouldn't he? Again. But the traits don't seem to really line up for centre midfielder. Alex Scott has been highly recommended to me. And I can see a scenario where we sell one midfield and bring one in the January window. But it's a question of who do we bring in. Obviously there's guys up here that are really high. I'd love too many, for example. I think he'd be great in midfield for us. I've always wanted to kind of pair these two up, Camavinga and too many, but getting these guys out of Madrid is going to be absolutely a nightmare of a problem to do. But that's what I'd like to do, honestly. But yeah, I don't know is the honest answer to the question of what are we just being unlucky in these big games? Do we just need to keep doing what we're doing and go from there? And obviously the answer people would say is down the tactic. Yeah, I could do that, but I'm not. I've never done that before at all. If I've ever got a tactic exactly the same as someone's great one, it's been by pure luck. But I am very pleased that Gyökeres is in the team and scoring goals. That is a big plus for me. Mukoku's been a bad signing. Califoy's been great. Obviously he's back from injury now. He's been injured the last few weeks. So we're in a good spot. I think part of the problem is we need to get the balance right in midfield. We need to work out why Costa is more on the net occasionally, and maybe get a bit more luck in the draw, because we've got Real Madrid 2 out of the 3 seasons so far. 4 if you count the group stage league phase this year, and I think we just need to not stop getting them, and that would help. Obviously, got to play them at some point, but I think we've been looking. And losing to Madrid is not a big deal. It's not a big disaster, is it? Losing to PSG, joining the PSG, losing to Real Madrid is not a bad Champions League run. But it's just like when we get into big games in the league, they're hot and cold. They can go to Leipzig and be absolutely brilliant and composed and awesome, but then they can go play Dortmund and they can fall apart and not turn up in it. And it's trying to work out why that happens. And try and get a standard where when we go to Madrid, we're confident we're going to win. We might not do it, but we can go there and we can do really well. It's like 2-1 victory, but it's like we have chances, they have chances, rather than them dominate the ball and we get a couple of highlights and a break and a counter-attack. But yeah, Dev Centre, there's nothing really to talk about here. The youth intake is an average one. The striker is a fine prospect, but I don't think it's going to be anything we're going to be too excited about. The scouting, I need to look at this. I don't know what's the best option. I need to look at scouting and watch a tutorial, because I keep trying different methods and it doesn't really work. But I do see myself doing business in January, but it would probably be more likely a summer deal, because I just need. This guy here, I don't know if we're ever going to see him get into the first team, honestly. But I do feel like if I look at the under-19s here, there's not really much in the way of quality. We've got this guy here, but I don't know. It is a really weird season. We've got some good talent in the youth system coming through. It's just a matter of what will happen will we ever get to the point where we play these guys, or we're going to win Champions League relatively quickly. So, in terms of guys, is what about the goalkeeper? We think we should keep the plan of keep Costa. If you force the move him out, and then bring in Simon in, or buy experienced goalkeeper and go for it. And also midfield, where are we going wrong in midfield? Why are we not dominating big games? Why is it every single time we play against a top side, we just don't ever seem to ever get on top, ever control the game? We might beat them, but it's always a chaotic game when we do that. I'm trying to work out why that is. But let me know in the comments what you think, guys, on that. So next episode, what I think we might do, I'm looking at the fixtures. We might come back for the Wolfsburg and Anderlecht games just to see where Champions League lines up after that. And then we'll see where we're at that point. What I might do is do Wolfsburg and Anderlecht next episode, so you see Champions League game and see if we can qualify. And then we'll see where we're at. If it looks like we're going to get through regardless, I'll then do probably Hanover and Frankfurt, and I can do a summary of the window in January after that. But yeah, that's the thoughts for today's episode. Because then after that, then we've got 1, 2, 3, then Dortmund. Yeah, that makes sense actually to do it that way. Just because I've always got to think ahead of like what's a good amount of episodes to do a good amount of games off camera, but also not too many. And then stage it out a little bit. So, but the season's not far off done. Then really look at that. You look at the fixtures there. There's not much left, is there really? But yeah, so we should get through the league phase. All being well. Anderlecht at home should be a win, but again we have the ability to throw a weird win like that at Schalke. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you guys in this episode. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I like doing these. It's good to air things out and not have the craziness of an episode of a match to kind of like throw me off, and not be able to try and keep the episode quite short. But these are designed to be short, to longer, and do a lot of talking. So I'll catch you guys in the next episode. If you have enjoyed it, hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Hope you like the intro and the outro I do now in these videos. It's really nice. It's time to get going now. And I'll see you guys all in the next episode. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.